Burks on his feet. He looks up and gives me a grin and says,
"Hey dude, you too must be from Marin."
Marin County's A-OK, from Tam to Stinson all the way to MA. Fresh organic veggies in the market every day. The Dennis, Dylan, and NWA.
Welcome to the Run TMC podcast. That is the Run the Marin County podcast, a podcast about basketball in Marin County. I'm Duffy Ballard, and with me is Dave Levine. Coach Levine, how are you this morning? What do you got?
I'm great, Duff. You're up in the great Pacific Northwest. I hope you're enjoying your time up there. I'm holding down the fort here in a place called Marin County. How's Oregon?
The Marin County. I love that place. Oregon's great. Just had a little dip in the Willamette River with my brother. You know, my brother, Chris Ballard, big cold plunge guy. And I experienced a little bit of laryngospasm. Thought I might drown. But afterwards came out of the water, dopamine surge, feeling great. So ready to talk basketball, Dave.
Little plug for Chris Ballard, writing a book on swimming the ice mile coming up.
Yep.
I don't know when, Duff, a year or two. But good. I'm glad you survived. So very cool. So I wanted to start off here with a few acknowledgments and thank yous. First of all, Drew Morehouse, awesome kid, senior guard for the San Domenico boys team, came up to me at practice this week and said, hey, my dad is a listener and a fan. So thank you, Drew's dad, Jason Morehouse, who I hear was a good shooter in his own right back in the day at Tam High. So thank you, Drew, for saying hello. Appreciate that.
Great shooter, Drew. Good player. Great along the baseline. Nice kid. Yeah. So thank you, Drew, for letting us know that your dad's listening. And maybe you'll listen as well. We can hope.
Exactly. Duffy, you funnily pointed that out, that he was clear to say, my dad is a listener. So Drew, give us a chance to. But no, love Drew. Great kid. And then I also want to say a big thank you to Tessa White. Tessa is an awesome person. She has two very talented kids. Kitty is a sophomore at Redwood. She was on the freshman team, on the varsity team as a freshman last year and was all league and is one of the best players in the league as a sophomore. I think she's on her way to a D1 career. Awesome player. And Tessa's younger kid, Harry, is a freshman at Redwood. He made the JV team, which is no small feat. Fantastic player. We've seen Harry play for a long time. Tessa has been really cool about sharing our podcast on social media and with her hoops friends and other parents. And so I just want to encourage our listeners to be like Tessa. And if you like what you're listening to and you enjoy this podcast or find it useful, go ahead and share it with people who you think might like it. It helps us. And really what's more important to us than anything is the more listeners we get, the more traction we get, it builds the community of basketball in Marin, and we get more people going to games. And that's what we want. We want our kids to play hoops in front of people. So it would be awesome to see more people at high school games, at youth games, at club games, whatever. So thank you, Tessa, for spreading the word. We really appreciate that. And then the last thing I'll say, Duff, is I went to check out the Dominican men play this week against Stanislaus State, or Stan State, Cal State Stanislaus. Stan State is coached by Paul Trevor, who is a fantastic guy and coach, was a Drake grad in the late 80s. He's an awesome person. He coached me at Pirate Camp many years ago. One of my favorite people. He's a great coach, very energetic and inspirational. And he's been at Stan State for, I think, 6 or 7 years. I went and checked out their game against Dominican with Tom Poser and John Granucci and a few others. And it was just fantastic basketball. I mean, this is really high level Division II men's basketball. They were flying all over the court. The game went down to the buzzer. And I just want to give a quick plug. Dominican is not a sponsor, but it's $10 to get into the game. It's easy to get to. The gym is beautiful. You sit, 2 or 3 rows up from the court and you watch really good basketball. And so parents of kids who are learning the game, go check out Dominican, the men and the women. We had Tim Lacose on. He's a fantastic guy. He's got a great team on the women's side. It's just really fun to go watch really good basketball when it's right there in our backyard down in San Rafael. So, yep. And by the way, Dominican beat Stan State Stan State beat Dominican by 3 went down to the buzzer. Great game.
Cool. Yeah, let's. Our mission is to fill the gyms this winter, right, Dave? Let's fill the gyms. What else? What else? We got a sort of historic passing this week of a legend in Marin County and beyond. You talk about Al Endriss a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk about Al Endriss. So very sad to see Al Endriss passed away. Al Endriss was 95 years old. You talk about living a full life, Duff. If we could all live a life like Al Endriss, then that would be a good thing for all of us. He played pro baseball for the Brooklyn Dodgers, and he played pro football for the San Francisco 49ers in the 1950s. So just take a second to think about that. He then embarked on a very long and successful coaching and teaching career in Marin. He coached at Redwood for 35 years, coaching baseball for 21 years, football for 15 years. He then went over to college in Marin, where he coached baseball for another 15 years. And in quote-unquote retirement, Duff, he coached golf at Branson for several years. He had over 900 wins as a baseball coach, is in several Hall of Fames, including the Marin Athletic Foundation Hall of Fame, the Redwood Hall of Fame. Our good friend and a future guest on this podcast, Chad Stewart, is married to Al's daughter, Nicole. And Duff, you have a story from Chad that we wanted to share. He was very kind to send us some thoughts on Al.
So Chad tells a story that this is from a time when he was just starting to coach at San Marin. And of course, at this time, Dave, there was no huddle or means of getting film or easy mean of getting film on other teams. And he wanted to do some scouting up in Santa Rosa. He had one opportunity to go up there and do some scouting in advance of a game. And unfortunately for Chad, it was also an evening where where Nicole, his dating Nicole at the time, she had some friends that were going out for dinner, and she wanted Chad to come along. So he had to make a choice, Nicole or scouting. And what type of decision do you think he made there, Dave?
My guess is he leaned the Nicole direction, Duff.
Good guess. So yes, he committed to dinner with Nicole. And so before dinner, they went over to Nicole's parents' house. And this was the second time only that Chad had met Al Endriss. And of course, he's a little intimidated by the legend. And so Chad writes that he walked in the house, and he got one of those huge Al Endriss handshakes. He would always grab your hand hard and pull you in close, an old school Italian. And he said to Chad that he had heard that Chad had chosen this event over scouting a game. Chad said, "Yes, you're correct." And then Al said, "You know what I would have done? Scouted the damn game." So Chad notes that Nicole was not so happy in this moment with her father, but it does seem to capture the type of character that Al Endriss was. And we thank Chad for that. Condolences to Nicole and the family. And we lost a legend in Marin County and beyond. So,
yep. Al touched a lot of lives. So thank you for everything, Al. And we're very sorry to hear of his passing. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to move on. We're going to move on to this episode. Dave is really focused on Archie Williams, and we're going to give the Falcons some love in this episode, both the girls and the boys. The interviews are really featured on the boys team, but we also wanted to reach out to Zach Wahle, the girls coach, and give him an opportunity to give us a little season preview. So what we're going to do, Dave, is we're going to play a little clip from Zach talking about his team. I'm going to let you know, Dave, that he doesn't really go into a lot of technical or tactical details. He's kind of playing it a little close to the vest, which is fine. We appreciate that. So anyway, take it away, Zach.
Hey, Coach. This is Zach Wahle with the Archie Williams girls basketball preview for 23-24. We're, I think, all just really excited, looking forward to seeing what the season has in store for us and learning and finding out who we are as a team and who we're going to be. And that'll happen soon enough. We've got our first couple games coming up this week. We have 7 returning players, 3 of them seniors, our captains, who I think are really going to be the backbone of our team and lead the way for us. Going to ask them to do a lot. We've got a couple juniors and a couple sophomores returning as well, who are going to be some key contributors. We've got a pretty tough non-league schedule ahead in the preseason, I think. So there may be some, a little bit of a learning curve, but I think it will really help us in the long run and hopefully prepare us for a tough league in January, and then we'll see what happens from there. We may, try some new things on offense and defense this year. I think we're in a little bit of a transition as far as some of those X's and O's go. But hopefully we're going to maybe surprise a few folks along the way. So that'll be, I think, an interesting journey for us, but we're looking forward to it. I put in some hard work and looking forward to continuing that. And excited to see what's ahead. Thanks.
So there you go, Dave. Preview from Zach. We had a little bit of a back and forth on text message afterwards, and one of the questions we asked him was if he could pick one word to describe his team and the mentality this year, what would it be? We went back and forth a little bit, and he ended up on resilience. So this is a team that, Dave, as you know, lost their top player from last year, Carly Amborn. She transferred to San Domenico. And so they've had to sort of refine their identity this year, and they're going to be resilient. That's what Coach Zach said. And we look forward to watching play this year and seeing how they develop and what type of style emerges from this team.
Yeah, we scrimmaged them last weekend. I was super impressed. I mean, Zach's a really good coach. He's got some great young players. They also were missing some players because congratulations to Archie on a fantastic girls volleyball season. Again, it's just incredible run that they've had. So, I think the MCAL is going to be a really interesting league this year on the girls' side. You've got Redwood and MC that are the favorites, but you have a bunch of really good teams, and I think Archie's going to make some noise. And not only this year, but for years ahead with some young players that are on the rise.
Cool. Well, yeah, thank you, Zach. And Dave, I think we are not doing a glossary this episode, right? But we'll be back again with the glossary soon. But we are going to do a couple follow-ups from our last episode. And first, we're going to touch on that 9-3-3 rule with regards to when you can touch the ball, when you have been out of bounds. So we checked in with Daryl Rory, and he clarified that the primary reason for this rule was to not permit players from running out of bounds as part of a set play or in the play coming off a screen or whatever, that they have to stay in bounds if they want to be the first person to touch the ball. So, for example, on a baseline out of bounds play on a blob, if there's someone who's running along the baseline and there's a couple screens being set for them, that if they come in, say, for example, want to catch the ball in the corner, they have to keep their feet in bounds all the way through until catching the ball. So that will be a little bit of an adjustment for teams as they are running plays, especially sideline or baseline plays. So thank you, Daryl.
Yeah, just to be clear, that player can touch the ball. They just can't be the first person to receive it.
Right. They cannot be the first person. Yeah. They're not, they're not immediately ejected from the game. It's not Draymond style.
Exactly. Yeah. So thanks for that, Daryl. So another thing that we wanted to touch on was last episode, Duff, you and I were discussing Novato High, and we mentioned Josh DeVore and that he was in the mix on recruiting. And I think literally an hour after we finished recording that, I saw on Instagram that Josh announced his commitment to play college basketball. So the timing was unbelievable. So very, very happy to announce that Josh DeVore has committed to play hoops at Cal Lutheran down in Southern California, a fantastic school, great basketball program. If that sounds familiar to our listeners, episode 1 guest Mike Fulton played basketball at Cal Lutheran. A number of Marin kids have gone there and played. I know Alexa Greenwood from Marin Catholic is currently playing there on the girls' side. So this is just a huge accomplishment. And big congratulations to Josh and the DeVore family. Big congratulations to Novato High. I think it's been a number of years since a Novato High basketball player has committed to play in college. And this is a great conference with a couple of Marin kids already playing in it. It's the SCIAC down in SoCal. So Claremont, Pomona, Chapman, Laverne, Caltech, Whittier, a couple other schools. Peyton Malarkey and Charlie Treen, both Marin kids, are playing for Pomona. So just really cool, and congratulations to Josh DeVore.
Yep, congratulations to Josh and the DeVore family. That is, it's a big deal. And
I'm sorry, I failed to mention. So obviously Josh's dad, Doug, one of the best players to ever play in Marin, Drake grad on the 82 team. We've mentioned Doug DeVore a number of times. Doug is going to be a guest on this podcast in a couple weeks. And, we look forward to talking to him about both Doug's time playing at Drake, in college at Sam Houston, overseas for, I think, a decade successfully, but then also talking about Josh's journey. So congrats.
Indeed. All right, Dave, it is sponsor time.
So, yeah, we are very close to bringing on a new sponsor, which is exciting. So I'm going to give a sneak preview to this sponsor, give them a freebie here. Jesse and Laurent is a gourmet, ready-to-eat meal delivery service. And our friend Elizabeth Schuring from Jesse and Laurent, in a kind gesture, Duff, sent both of our families this week some free food. And it was awesome. So I came home from practice late this week, and I found a fridge full of really, really good food that my family had already taken a couple bites out of. It was really easy. You just heat it up. It's ready made. You can microwave it or oven, put it in the oven, and it's fantastic. So we'll have more detail on Jesse and Laurent in future episodes. But the website, for those of you who are curious, is www.jessieandlaurent.com. So thank you, Elizabeth, and we're very thrilled to have you guys on board as a sponsor.
Yeah, very excited. Thank you, Elizabeth. I grabbed a Green Goddess salad with chicken on my way to the airport Wednesday evening after we got our delivery, Dave. And then Angela and Holden had the broccoli and Mongolian beef over garlic rice, and they were raving about it. And we have a bunch more that we're gonna try here in the near future. But Dave, I have to say, we're not going to be eating Jesse and Laurent every evening because there's someplace else we need to visit on a regular basis, and that is the Hub. Our friends Jerry and Rebecca at the Hub. Their son Owen is one of our guests today on the podcast. And if you want to watch a game, go to the Hub. If you want to get a burger, go to the Hub. If you want to get a crispy chicken sandwich, of course, you can go to the Hub. They have great salads. They're nutritious. They're variable. They have hand-cut fries. They got a great tap list. It's a great place to sit inside, but they also have the heat lamp, so you can sit outside, watch a game on the big TVs. Convenient Red Hill Shopping Center. The Hub's really just a mecca of activity, a great place to take your team after a game or after a practice and get them some nutritious food, maybe a milkshake to finish it off. So, Dave, thank you, as always, to the Hub for being one of our core sponsors of this podcast.
We love the Hub. Thank you, Jerry and Rebecca.
All right. So, Dave, is it time to get to the introductions?
It is.
Fantastic. All right. So we go into the backgrounds of our two guests in the podcast, Owen Bugas and Russ Bauer, the team captain, senior Owen Bugas, second team All-League in the MCAL last year. He's our first player guest, which is exciting, Dave. And then Russ Bauer, second-year coach at Archie Williams. Coaching resume includes 6 years at Branson, spending some time under Coach Honeck there. So this was a fun interview in the team room at Archie Williams. And tonight, Dave, actually, is like the kickoff dinner for the Archie Williams boys team. And they will be unveiling the names on the gym wall, which is always a huge moment. We have a very young team, so I think this is particularly exciting for the young players that are on varsity early on in their high school career.
Very cool. Very cool. Love that tradition.
So I'm just going to, we'll hopefully get a chance to do something similar for other teams, but I'm just going to go ahead and read off the 12 guys that are on the varsity team for the boys. Dave?
Go for it.
Owen Bugas, Julian Nickel, Alex Mardikin. Those are our three seniors. Dante Stallone Jr., transfer from Marin Catholic. Love Dante's game. He also plays out at Old Man Ball. We talk some about Old Man Ball in this podcast, and we'll cover that again in the future. Dante Stallone, his dad Patrick, pretty good ball player too. Gabe Serio, Grady Stewart, Alex Hamlet, Brian Wright, Devin Moss, Ephraim Son, August Block. Those are 7 10th graders on the varsity team. And then finally, Nate Greenberg, freshman, amazing water polo player, great athlete. I've coached him in multiple sports over the years. He was first team all MCAL water polo, and now he makes the varsity basketball team as a freshman. So congrats to Nate and parents Helen and Dave, great people. So with that, Dave, unless you want to further comment or hear yourself speak in any additional fashion, should we get to the interview?
All set. Let's do it. All right. Here we are. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you. Thanks for having us, Dave.
Thank you for joining. So we are very honored to have Owen Bugas and Russ Bauer from the Archie Williams Falcons. We're here in the Archie Williams team room, which is an amazing room. I was looking at the pictures of all the fabulous teams from history on the wall. So I'll do an intro on you guys so that our listeners know who you are. So Owen, let's start with you. Owen, you're a senior at Archie Williams, second team all MCAL last year, team MVP, 4-year varsity player. You can tell by watching Owen play, he's basically played basketball his whole life. He did CYO and AAU. He was a team captain last year. And one thing that I want to come back to for Owen is this is a kid who's played pickup before, you can tell. And he plays pickup in the outdoor courts at Hidden Valley, right? Is it Hidden Valley, Duff? So we're going to talk about that. But recurring theme, Owen, is that this is sort of a lost art among kids today. Is They don't play as much pickup. You're somebody who has played pickup against bigger and stronger guys, and it shows in the way that you play. I love that. So really psyched to have you here. Sitting next to Owen is his head coach, Russ Bauer. Russ is a proud Drake High grad. You were all league, right?
Correct.
Second team?
Second team. 2005.
Beautiful. Still can play. Gets buckets on me every week when we play pickup. It annoys me. So Russ has been a coach for many years. He was the assistant coach for the freshman team at Drake for 2 years. Then he was the JV coach at Drake. And then he moved over to Branson, where he was the JV coach for 6 years, coached some fantastic teams, got to hang out with and learn from Jonas Honeck and Stevie Johnson and those guys. Did a great job as the Branson JV coach, and then came over here to take over the Archie Williams varsity job. And this is your second year, right, Russ?
Correct.
Came over in 2022. And he's also been involved with NBBA for many years, so he's great with kids. Just an awesome coach and an awesome guy. So psyched to have you guys. We're going to talk some Archie. So before we get to talking about the season, and we want to hear about your thoughts on the season, I thought we'd ask both of you a bit about how you started with basketball. So Russ, why don't we start with you? What drew you to basketball in the first place? Tell us a little bit about your history there.
Well, I started basketball pretty late. Growing up, it was soccer and baseball mostly. But as a toddler, it was just always sports. You know, all the pictures of me, you know, in the baby albums. I have like big, you know, plastic bat or black eye from running around. So sports was always a big part of my life. Started playing soccer actually out in France when I lived there when I was 5, 6, and 7 years old.
Cool.
And I remember that being really challenging. And so then, you know, sports always came really naturally to me. But basketball was something I would sort of just do with my dad, shoot around at the schools. So we moved over to Marin County from the East Bay in 6th grade. I went to White Hill, and I started playing CYO with St. Rita's. And the summer I actually moved to Marin, I started going to Pirate Camp. And that immediately was really awesome. You know, the culture of Pirate Camp, the coaches there, the history really opened my eyes to basketball, and I think that's where my love for the game and my seriousness for the game sort of developed. So, you know, thanks to that Drake Hoops culture and, you know, the friends I've made along the way through it, that really helped my influence in you know, developing my game and becoming a good player. And the game itself, too, compared to the other sports, you know, it's a fast game, small confines. You can't really hide, you know. There's people right, you know, on the sideline watching you. The intensity, something grabbed me there, and it became my favorite sport. And, you know, just the friends I made, my varsity assistant coach, Brandon Johnson, best friend of mine since sixth grade when we started playing St. Rita's together. We used to go at each other, one-on-one, just any court we could find, to the point where we'd be at ends, playing against each other, learning how to defend each other. And I think we really both helped each other become really good players. And I've been with, Archie and Drake and Bleeding the Kelly Green pretty much ever since sixth grade.
So when you were a kid and you started playing hoops, did you play pickup?
Yeah, we played actually a lot of mini ball, we would call it. It was Lower Brookside campus, which is down in Sleepy Hollow. Yeah. They used to have the 7.5-foot hoops, and that was a huge thing growing up in high school. As much as maybe my coach back then was a little concerned about injuries and stuff, we would be jamming all over the rims and just being out there all day. And it was my backyard. I actually grew up right next to the campus, so I would go down there, play a bunch, just by myself, pretend it was Game 7, hitting the last second shots. And so, but pickup as well, at Pirate Camp, after Pirate Camp, those outdoor courts were still around when I was that age through middle school. And so, pickup was definitely part of my development as well.
Awesome. Owen, when did you start? A little younger?
Yes, as soon as I was born, I had a basketball in my hands. Growing up, playing CYO, getting Bucky teaching me what a travel was in third grade. All that stuff.
All right, 6 minutes in, it's our first Buck Chavez reference. Thank you, Owen.
Yeah.
Continue.
There's going to be a lot. So just playing CYO, playing pickup with my friends at the Drake Outdoor Courts, playing OMB up at Sleepy Hollow, of course.
We're going to talk about OMB.
Yep.
Old man basketball. Old man ball.
And then I got really, really obsessed with it. As the Warriors got really good. I've been a West Virginia college hoops fan, so I've watched a lot of college hoops. Just watched a lot of basketball, studying the game, just really deep diving into I just fell in love with the game when I was young and just grew up playing it, loving it.
Well, you guys both, and I've played with both of you, you both play a great classic style of basketball. You play really hard, you're tough, you take no guff from anybody. You can swear on this podcast, but I'm not going to. You can tell that you guys have played on playgrounds against older guys, right? Yeah. And it shows in the way both of you guys play, which is awesome. And that's kind of, we're going to get back to it, but that seems to me that's the attitude of this Archie Williams team this year. Is you guys you're not as big as some of the other schools, but you guys play really hard and you play together and you just know how to play. And it's going to be fun to watch you guys.
They use their forearms really well.
They do. I have experienced that. So, Owen, your St. Anselm's teams in CYO were good, right? Did you have some pretty good CYO teams?
Yes, we won the championships in 7th grade. Very successful team, coached by our freshman coach, Court Hazlitt.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
My dad was actually the CYO coach till 6th grade, and then the year he stopped coaching, we won the championship.
It's weird how that works.
So I give him stuff for that all the time.
We love you, Jerry. It's okay.
So every year in CYO is competitive, and the rivalries that I made in CYO carried into high school, and the same coaches, Mikey Claggett at Branson.
Oh yeah.
He coached against me all through CYO, and it's just great to see the people that I play with at other schools, and Julian, who I play with, be my teammate to this day, and it's just great. The connections continued into high school.
That's so fun to do that, and also did you go to Falcon Camp?
Yes, I was gonna yeah. So every summer I'd go 3-4 weeks, beg my mom to pay for another week. It was just literally the best thing ever.
Yeah, because it's also a great way to compete with your friends from other schools,
right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And compete with the older players who you're going to compete with in high school.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Russ, I wanted to hit on your coaching experience. 6 years at Branson. Obviously, I went there. I played for Jonas. The guy was just a basketball savant. Talk about what you learned at Branson, and then compare being at Branson versus being here at Archie.
Well, yeah, Jonas was awesome. I was very grateful to be a fly on the wall as much as possible and get to know him, build a relationship with him. Incredible coach. He's just, he was known to be sort of old school. But if you see him out of practice, he's the most likable, lovable guy. So the relationships that he built, working on campus there, like I do here, is an advantage. And so he had a great advantage there to really get to know these kids and spend a lot of time with them, not just during practice, but during the school day. So I think that really helped build trust and know that, the coach believes in you all the while, you can bust out that intensity and really push these guys out of their comfort zone. And that's something he was really good at. And obviously his charisma, the way he would speak, and the things he would say would just touch those buttons just enough just to bring out as much, just what he wanted out of you. So he was really just masterful with that. And of course his knowledge of the game, his attention to detail. Not that, Doug Donnellan, whom I played for at Sir Francis Drake, he's meticulous as well and knows the game extremely well. So I'm very fortunate to have, been coached by Doug. The beginning of my coaching career was with Doug Donnellan. And then after he left, I decided that, let's learn from someone else. I always had extreme respect for the Branson teams, how disciplined they were, how hardworking they were, how much unity they had when they played. The togetherness was incredible. And so to go over there for 6 years, I really learned a lot, just through his practice plans, his drills, that I still use to this day. It was a blessing.
I was just watching San Domenico boys practice yesterday before our practice, and Tyler Gaffney does such a great job with that team. But they were doing the shell drill, and Andy Johnson is helping out Tyler, who played here, who's a great player, lights up our adult league. And they were working on moving when the ball moves on help side. Ball in the air, feet in the air, right? Ball moves, you got to move. And Andy was saying, you guys got to, when the ball is swung, you got to sprint to help side. And I'm just thinking, like, man, that is so ingrained in me from every day in practice. Jonas doing shell drill, just screaming to sprint to the help side. It's I will never forget that. So even when I'm playing now, and I can barely move, but I know when the ball is swung, I got to sprint to help side. I can barely move, but still.
He had all these.
Like a sprint anymore, Dave.
Let's call it a sprint. It's a 48-year-old sprint.
Well, he had all these questions that he would, right before shell drill, he'll reel off about 10, 15 questions, and the kids would have them all memorized, and so they just get that ingrained, and and then they go out there and do it.
Yep, absolutely. That's awesome. So, compare and contrast Doug's style from Jonas's style and your style as a coach.
Okay. A good coach is a good thief. I heard that quote somewhere, and I really liked it. And I don't know if I want to go into their styles too much, but what I've taken out of their style is just attention to detail, having a high standard, high expectations. And I've taken those things, obviously some of their plays that I really liked, and drills, practice structure, things like that. And, the way they interact with their players, and the way they've interacted with me. And so I've grown through that, we're all socialized through our environment, and, being with them all these years has helped me to become the man I am today.
Cool.
So I don't know if I can really compare them to myself.
No, that's great.
I'm just trying to take the best out of them.
You got your own style.
Yeah.
Sure. Owen, let's get to you. So you mentioned, you finally start winning when your dad steps aside. Totally get that. So who are the other kind of players, coaches you've had, whether it was a AAU coach, Falcon Camp, Russ, other coaches who've kind of molded you and influenced you?
Yeah, well, there's been so many coaches and influences in my life. But first off, I wouldn't even be able to play basketball if it weren't for my parents. They work extremely hard just to give me an opportunity to play basketball at this wonderful town and historical school. So I'm just extremely fortunate. Their work ethic is carried on and influenced my work ethic. Kenny Woodard. You guys talked about him earlier in the podcast. He's a very good skills trainer.
Literally talking to him on the phone on my way over here.
Yeah. Noah Bice, who I grew up watching. As soon as before he went to college, he trained me and really, really influenced my game.
He's on the wall here.
Yes, he won MCAL Player of the Year. He's a short guard.
Yeah.
Really, really good player. Brandon Bracey and Brett Baytrip, or my coaches in AU, have helped me a lot this last couple years. Neil Chavez, who's now the coach at TAM. He was our assistant coach last year.
Love Neil.
Yes. The thing about Neil is when you go play with Neil, you're going to get better. Like, just his intensity. Of course, Buck's always there showing you some jab step footwork drills, but you're just going to get better when you're playing with Neil. And then lastly, Mike Reed, who's now coach at Santa Fe. I can't say enough about Mike. He's just such a big influence. We actually met on the outdoor courts at Drake playing pickup, and as soon as we met, man, we just became really close. We talked every day, and when COVID hit, he would train me every single morning when it was dark outside at 5:30.
Awesome.
We got up, we trained till the sun came up, till the first Zoom class hit. I'd go on Zoom on my phone while I'm walking home, and I called him on a late night one time. I was like, I really, really, really want to make varsity freshman year, and he really pushed me through that summer. And as soon as tryouts came, I was ready. And without Mike, I wouldn't be the player I am today. So,
Very cool.
huge shout out to Mike.
Very cool.
Yeah.
One Neil Chavez shout out. By now, probably a couple episodes ago, right? But we asked Neil for a preview of the TAM season, boys season. So he sent Duffy a voice memo, and I was just listening to it in the car. And it's like 3 minutes of Neil just talking about the team. And by the end of the 3 minutes, I was ready to pull over, get my shoes on, and go play. I mean, the guy and he says it as a very kind of,
It's monotone.
It's monotone, but he's like, we're going to get after it. We're going to share the ball. We're going to play defense. We're going to play with peace and love. And it's just like, yes, man, I'm in.
The love that dude has for basketball is just, it's crazy.
Amazing family.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's talk about Archie Williams Falcons 2023-2024. Russ, talk about your team. What are the strengths? What do you like coming into the season?
Well, the team is really young. We got 7 sophomores and a freshman out of our 12 total.
Wow.
I can't remember in my 25 years of being around MCAL ever seeing a team that young.
Yeah.
But it's exciting. Got hungry guys that are very committed. I was opening up before school 3 days a week, and we had our fall teams, and we were getting after it all fall. Guys are grinding, and we're trying to get better every day. So I'm really excited about this year. Going into my second year, much more comfortable, much more confident. I have a lot of buy-in, much more so than last year, and things are really going well. We're small, but we're gritty, and we're going to compete in this league. Obviously, there's a couple monsters up at the top, but I really think that we could compete for a playoff spot. And the team's comprised of a lot of guards.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to cater to that. We got shooters and we got some dynamic playmakers, and so we're going to put the pieces to the puzzle together and find the right recipe towards success.
Yeah. Despite your new assistant coach addition, I think you will have success.
Well, Duffy's been great. Duffy is awesome.
Go ahead,
We're,
talk about how
we're,
good Duffy is.
we're texting constantly. He's been great.
Yeah,
I can't say enough.
We love Duffy. Yeah. Owen, what are your thoughts on the kind of the strengths of the team?
Yeah, I mean, like Russ said, we're super, super short, super, super young. But, I see us running fast in transition.
Yep.
Hopefully making some good decisions and running some efficient, fast-paced basketball.
So you're the vet, man. You're the elder statesman.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird. It's a drastic change from my previous years.
Yeah. So how many seniors are on the squad?
We have 3.
Okay. So you got 3 seniors. You said 7
Sophomores.
7 sophomores.
1 junior and 1 freshman.
And 1 freshman. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sophomore year we had 11 seniors. My sophomore year.
Yeah.
And then last year we had 9 seniors.
Wow.
So this year we got 3.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
That's crazy. Yeah. I remember your sophomore year, Will Heimbrodt. Right?
Yep.
That was a great team.
Will, he's playing at Seattle this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fun team. Very cool. All right. So a glut of talented 10th graders. Russ, how do you How do you manage that?
Well, they're sort of like puppies in a way. We're raw in many aspects of the game, but through my experience and my style of coaching, I really want to build discipline with them and have the defense be that backbone. And if we can defend, keep teams, in the 40 to 50 range, we're going to be able to score points. So I'm really especially these first couple weeks of the season, we're doing a lot of breakdown stuff. Just working on we have 5, 6 now non-negotiables that we're trying to instill in them. Almost every single drill, we're talking about which non-negotiables we're working on, the form and technique within them, and just trying to build them up, get them a little bit better every single day. I really think the future is bright with these guys. I think there's a lot of potential. Obviously, this year with the team being so young, I don't think it's going to be a perfect season. Where there's going to be some bumps in the road. I think most teams will have bumps, even the better teams in the league. It's never perfect. But it'll be a question of how resilient we can be, and how we can grow from these bumps and fix them. And
what do you think of the schedule change? Where you're single round robin.
I'm opposed. I think it hurts for MCal fans to know that teams only have 4 home games, as opposed to 8, or if we did the 12-game season, 6. It'll be more travel for all the MCal teams around here, and so I wasn't too excited about the idea, but it's nothing we can do about it. We're just going to have to make best with the situation.
Kind of a recurring theme that we've heard from a lot of coaches, right? I mean, the tradition, it's a bummer. Like when I first heard about it, it's like, wow, man, that's a bummer. I mean, the home and home is fun, right? So we'll see how it goes. It's a 1-year trial, right?
Yeah.
Your schedule, given that, I mean, you got to schedule more out-of-conference games. We were just talking before we were recording that you guys have some tough ones.
Yeah.
You got University, you've got St. Ignatius.
Yeah.
I mean, you got some really tough teams, which is great. So talk about that.
Well, especially early in the season, playing those teams, those are our first 2 games, will help us all get ready for the season. I think playing tough competition early will help us raise the bar and get prepared for league. I'm excited to be back in the Van Bauer tournament after Christmas. I know, Owen, you are as well.
Yes.
I played in that when I was a student here. The Marin Catholic puts on a great tournament, and really excited for that as well. Should be some really good competition. We'll see who we match up against there once the bracket's out.
That's awesome. So we did our Mike and Ashley Saya interview in the Nelson room above the Marin Catholic gym, and I learned something that I did not know. So I didn't play in that tournament as a player, and I've never coached in it. Apparently the food in that room is really good during that tournament.
Something to look forward to. The hospitality room.
Coaches only? Or
Do players get access?
I don't think you're eating Owen.
Yeah.
Russ will sneak me some food.
For sure. Definitely.
Between games.
Owen, any games that are circled on the schedule for you that you're excited about? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Talk
Of
about
course, Branson is always fun, playing the best. I got a few friends on that team, so that's always fun. And then our senior night against Tam, we got Neil Chavez coming to the house.
Nice.
Got to get my revenge on Neil. No, but I mean, that intensity of Tam, they always play super intense with Neil there. It's gonna be a really good game. And then our first MCal League game at MC, we're gonna have Dante back. It's gonna be a packed crowd, rivalry. Drake or Archie MC now.
That's all right. We'll forgive you. So Dante,
it's gonna be fun.
Listeners, Dante Stallone, great shooter, transferred from MC to Archie.
Yeah, just this year. So he's going to be back for that game.
So he'll be eligible.
We got to get him a win in his old school.
Yeah, very cool. All right, so the $1,000 question, $1 million question, whatever. So you got Branson, clearly the class of the league. I mean, they're phenomenal. I just saw them play in a tournament a couple weeks ago. They look like a well-oiled machine. They're going to be awesome. Redwood's really good. Those 2 battle at the top of the league last year.
Jake Vasquez.
Jake's phenomenal.
Yeah. 2 returning MVP candidates. Nick Cubley then with San Marin. A lot of returners on that team.
Exactly. So it's sort of a battle for 3rd, 4th place. Now, we don't know at this point if the playoffs are going to be 4 or 6 teams. Is that right? Like,
it's currently 4.
Okay.
I'm not sure if the athletic directors will change that. We motioned for it in our preseason coaches meeting, and I think the ADs are meeting in the next week or 2. So we'll see. I don't know. I just don't have an answer for you there.
By the time it's airs.
Yeah, maybe. It's going to be fun. But, we've talked to people from different schools. I mean, it seems like it's kind of anybody's ball game for the 3rd, 4th slots, right? I mean, San Marin's got a good
San
squad.
Marin's super, super solid. They got a couple transfers, too.
Yep.
Yeah, they're looking really good.
They're good, and Cobley can play.
Yeah.
Now, the thing with San Marin that we actually just talked to their coach, Con Dunning, a couple days ago. You got like 4 of their really good players are football players. So they won't even be, and their football team's really good, right? So it's sort of the same thing that Mike deals with at MC.
Right.
Those guys won't be available potentially till mid-December, and they'll play, but you're missing out on a month of practice.
I think that was one of the reasons why we went to a single round robin. A lot of these schools, their football players, it just hurts when we were playing games in late November, early December.
Right.
Those league games, I think San Marin and MC lost early games last season that they probably would have won if they were full strength.
Yep, absolutely. So, Russ, one thing I've noticed about you, and talking to Duffy about it, I think it's just fantastic. You're big on building culture among your players in a non-basketball way, right? So you guys will sit and talk, and you'll watch a movie together. I mean, you're doing these things that are not basketball activities, but it's building culture. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I wasn't the greatest student, and I learned a lot through sports, and but I didn't really focus on my education through high school and college. And when I got out, I didn't really have many open doors for me, and so coming back and getting into coaching and really falling in love with coaching after about 6-7 years and really starting to feel like, yes, this is my purpose, this is what I want to do. Yeah. That's when I really, realized that I want to help these kids, these student athletes, not only on the court but off the court as well. And so I take that really seriously, as far as just health, relationships, a man should be thought of in terms of relationships, like what type of son are you, what type of player are you, what type of coach am I, what type of boyfriend, husband, whatever sort of relationship it is. I think it should be thought of that. And there's a lot of toxicity around the word masculinity and the whole machoism type of thing, and so I want to make sure that my kids, that I coach, have a good perspective. And as outside of that, it's about finding things you really love and trying to be your best at them. And so helping them find purpose and feel fulfillment and get rewards from hard work are things I really focus on as well. But in my second year here, I'm also really trying to build culture, not just with developing these players, but through the community as well. And so I'm going to be through MBBA. Be doing a camp this winter, trying to bring in a bunch of kids around the community and have our high schoolers coach them and feel that sort of responsibility of like helping out the next generation. And we're doing clinics as well, and finding different ways at our home games to bring back alumni and honor alumni. Doing a CYO night, having a couple local CYO teams come and play during halftime, things like that. Lots of ideas. We're doing more team dinners this year. We're doing more bonding stuff outside of practice, and I really think it's important and can make a difference towards your success. The more unified your team is, the better relationships they have. I truly believe the better they'll play as a team.
Completely agree. Love that you do it. I think that's awesome and really, really well said. That was a fantastic answer. All right, Owen, we've reached crunch time. You ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, final exam. This is going to be a boring one. Best gym in Marin, Owen.
This is going to be a crazy answer.
Whoa.
It's not Archie. I'm going to go with MC. The
We'll
rim.
talk about it.
You shoot the ball at MC, it hits the rim, it's going in. Especially on the one closest to the entrance.
Okay, that's interesting because I've always found that MC is a tough gym to shoot in for me because I don't like the background, but you're saying but forgiving rims, so that's good.
Super nice rims.
All right, now Russ, all right, Russ, what's your answer? Favorite gym?
Archie Williams.
Thank you. I mean, that's
Without hesitation. Just, like I said, Pirate Camp growing up, this is my school. Like I told you, I bleed the Kelly Green.
Totally.
Very fond memories of playing in here and packed houses and just, moments that still give me goosebumps to this day. And so without a doubt, this is the best gym in Marin right here.
John Granucci said it the best. You said it really well right there. John Granucci said it in one line. He said, you walk into that gym, at least the old days before the facelift of this gym, you walk in that gym, it just smelled like basketball. And that was the great way.
That is true.
Great way to put
That
it.
is
Now,
true.
I will say Russ might not answer MC, so Owen, you might not appreciate this, but for coaches who are visiting at MC, they hate MC because Duff,
The bench?
The bench.
Yeah.
the offset,
Offset. Yeah.
the offset scorers table, so the home coach has much more real estate to roam around
Really?
than the visiting coach.
I didn't recognize
And when
that.
you're trying to strangle the ref, it makes it harder to get out there.
Exactly. I talked to Daryl Rory about that.
Duff, you have to stay seated as an assistant.
Yeah.
Duly noted.
I told we did a episode with Daryl Rory, which by now will have come out, and I told Daryl this. He laughed because in a game last year, I started talking to a ref, and Fulton said to me, "Hey, they don't want to hear from you,"
Yeah.
and it's me personally, but also they don't want to hear from assistant coaches. So, Duff. Zip it. Okay, Russ, you're starting with this one. Give us 2 surprise picks for all league.
Oh, man. I haven't thought about this.
But Owen's got a long list.
I don't even remember the full list from last year, but
Are there any players that you like that you coach against? You think maybe don't get as much airtime?
I'll shout out our sophomore Grady Stewart. This kid is an absolute junkyard dog. Plays
Yeah.
plays tough, physical, man-to-man defense. He is faster with the ball in his hand than without. He's really developed a lot this past year. I think he's
Nice.
going to have a good season this year. Maybe he can get on the list.
Okay, cool.
Outside of that, the Bravelli kid over at San Rafael, I think he's due.
I just watched him play.
I've seen him play a lot of pickup. I've seen him
Yeah.
when he's at his best. I think last year he had some injury issues. I think he could definitely crack the list this year with his skill.
When I said I saw Branson play, I saw them play against a team that was kind of a mix of San Rafael and MC. And Gio Bravelli was playing along with Luke Shapiro, I think, from San Rafael.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've been friends with Mike Bravelli for a long time. I hadn't seen Gio play. He can go. I mean, he's really good. He's healthy and he's in shape. And yeah, he was looking good. All right, Owen, give us some surprise all-league picks.
Yes. Well, I got to go with my boy, BJ Fisher. I played CYO with him.
Redwood?
Yes, and he had a back injury last year.
Yeah.
So he had a tough start to the season. But he's got a really good role at Redwood. They're going to be winning a lot, and I think he's going to skyrocket that list
Good
pretty
answer.
quickly.
You got another
Yeah.
one?
I think if Julian stays healthy, he's got a shot to get on that list. Health is a big question mark with him, but I think Alvin Cole at TAM is going to have a really good season as well. He's such a hard player to guard. He's super quick. He's physical inside and get a good shot. I think he's really, really good guard at TAM.
Awesome.
Yep.
Good answers. All right, Owen, favorite basketball drill? Let's go team basketball drill.
Man, I just love playing 5-on-5.
That's
Scrimmage,
that
but
counts.
yeah. But I mean, I like starting practice out with the energy drill. Gets us going. It gets us talking. I think it's good.
That's a Jonas Honick
Russ, you want to explain that
drill.
one?
Explain the
Yeah,
energy
I
drill.
get after it. So we break up into thirds. 1/3 off to one sideline, the other third off to the other sideline. The group that starts is right in the middle, and it's 30 seconds of intensity. where if I blow my whistle, they have to slap the floor, yell defense.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a King's drill
Yeah.
where I'll point, go close out on this side, or get into the gap, or get in help side, or close out on the other side, and I just make them work their butts off for 30 seconds, and then the next group comes in, and so it's a quick 3-minute drill. Everybody goes twice. It just wakes them up after doing those stretches. It's that first drill is important. The first hour of a practice is extremely important, and so to set the tone in the first 3 minutes, it's key.
And Russ is dancing and stomping.
Oh, yeah.
all over the place
It's
with the
red in
whistle,
the
and that
face,
whistle is
just getting
moving.
after it.
Russ,
You guys should have seen Jonas do it back in the day. I loved watching that.
You got some love from Tom Poser. You heard what he said. He was at Pirate Camp and he's teaching this drill, and all of a sudden you're right
Yeah.
and there's Russ just sweating right next to him.
Well, can I tell you my drill? So
please.
he came into Pirate Camp and he taught us I call it the imagination drill. I don't know what he called it, but
Yeah.
it was, there were a few volunteers. I ended up, as a coach, being one of them. And what you do is you just start at the baseline, and it's 1-on-0, and you got to go down to the other end, but you're pretending there's, 10 defenders out there, and you're going up, and you escape dribble, or, you jump stop pivot, and you're just working your butt off and doing many moves before you go finish, and then you go back the other way. And I think I went down and back once or twice.
Dead.
And then, Poser stops it. He looks over at me, and I'm just profusely just dripping sweat with my eyes locked in on him, Poser's a legend. I have a lot to thank him for, being at Pirate Camp and, back in 6th grade, and him running the offensive moves clinic and the outdoor courts. I remember it vividly to this day.
Yep. He's incredible. Okay, Russ, back to you. Favorite individual drill?
Well, probably that one I was just mentioning.
Yeah.
Team-wise, though, is another Branson drill, the 2v2 passing drill.
2v2 passing. Oh, you just gave me post-traumatic
I call
stress.
it UFC drill because it's sort of like the players are entering the octagon.
Yeah.
There's no scoring. It's just I go 45-second clips for the offense to try to be as perfect as possible under extreme pressure and physicality. So they have to, maintain that triple threat, square up, use their pivot and dribble correctly to create a pass while the other player's sealing and working really hard to get open. And it's in a pretty small confine, so you can't really hide, and it's intense. Usually, I've seen over the years kids break their nose, bloody noses, black eyes. It's very physical, but it's an extremely good drill to get better at handling pressure, to be more comfortable under pressure, and then defensively, it's just it helps you just get more intense and
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you did that yourself?
2-on-2 passing.
Yep.
Still remember it. Jonas would have a yellow legal pad, and we'd go into practice, and he'd put his pad down on the bleachers, and we'd be stretching, and I'd kind of go give it a quick peek, and I'd look, all right, are we doing 2-on-2 passing today? And I'd look at the end, are we running sprints today? All right, now I know what I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
Because 2-on-2 passing was like, I loved it, but it's exhausting.
Yeah, it's tiring for sure.
All right, Owen, what's your favorite individual drill?
I love to shoot the basketball. So any drill where I'm coming off a screen or like getting as many reps up, seeing how many I can make.
Yeah.
I just love shooting.
Yeah. So give me an example of a shooting drill that you guys do.
Well, me and Russ have been doing one over the off season.
Yeah.
It's you have 5 minutes, and you make 2 shots from the baseline, 2 shots between the free throw and the baseline,
Yep.
2 shots at the corner of the free throw,
Yep.
2 floaters, and then so that's 8 makes. Then 8 makes on the left side.
Yep.
And then you should go to the top of the key, at the 3-point line, and you make as many threes as you can, in 5 minutes.
Okay.
And that's your score.
Yeah, and that's
Do you
your
have
score.
to make 2 in a row at each of those spots?
Yes.
Or you just,
No. You just have to make 2.
Just make 2.
And then
Okay.
you go to the next spot.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
I got that
So
one.
you got to
from-
get that one quickly as possible so you can shoot threes.
Yeah, yeah.
Get your count
Shout
up.
out Stevie Johnson.
Stevie's drill.
Yep.
That's a great
So,
one.
Yep.
I think I saw you get like 45 in that drill. What's
40,
Was it
47 to 48.
You shoot
Yeah.
threes or you shoot mid-range?
Threes.
Yeah.
At the top of the 3. Yeah.
Yeah,
But how about
that's
the other shots? Like baseline, you're shooting 3?
It's mid-range, right?
yeah, they're all mid-range.
Mid-range.
Short corner, then
Yep.
that little bank shot, the elbow.
Got it.
And then
And
2
floaters.
floaters on, and then you do, so that's 8 makes on one
Yep.
side, 8 on the other,
Yeah,
and then
that's a good drill.
3s for whatever remaining time you have.
You're pretty exhausted.
You've got a rebounder.
Yes,
Yep.
Russ.
Yep.
Love it.
Great
Dropping
rebounder.
dimes.
All right, last and most important question. Favorite meal at the Hub? Owen.
You gotta go get the original crispy chicken sandwich. That's the bomb.
Okay.
Nice. I was going there well before it was the Hub, when it was Farm Burger, and they continued this sandwich. It's the number 4, which is the chicken patty,
I love that one.
the onion strings.
Good sauce.
Yep, good sauce. I think it's arugula as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And then I sub out the tomatoes. I add some pickles in there. But in my perfect world, if I was really feeling it, I'm going to get some wings on the side,
Okay.
some hand cut, and
Holden likes the wings.
perhaps a delicious beverage.
So if Russ did the energy drill himself and he's worked up a sweat, then he's going to get some wings. Awesome. Well, guys, it's been super fun to talk to you. I love being in this room. This is like the hallowed halls. I mean, this is a room of history here. But I'm excited to see what you guys do this year. Love the way you guys play. So,
Appreciate
Owen,
it.
Russ,
Thanks for
the
having
time.
us.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Well, Dave, from the team room at Archie Williams with a lot of Drake Pirate history surrounding us, that was our first team room interview, and it was fantastic. What did you think?
Yeah, it was awesome. I've been in that gym my whole life, and I've never made my way back to the Drake team room. It's a special place. There's a lot of history on the walls. It was really cool to be in that room, and so thank you for setting that up. And it was awesome to talk to Russ and Owen. They did great.
Yeah, we had a ball signed by John Wooden. We had a ball from a 14-0 season, Tom Poser and the Granucci's, and the red-brown whiteboard in the background. That will be in our picture, Dave. So yeah, cool spot to do an interview, and a great interview. Fun to talk to Russ and Owen. Obviously, I know them both fairly well now, have been working with them since the summer. But any takeaways first from you, Dave?
Yeah, first off, I want to acknowledge Jerry and Rebecca Bugas for well done on parenting. Owen is a really great kid. He's respectful, he's funny, he's outgoing, he's thoughtful. With high school kids, some of them are comfortable talking to adults, some of them aren't. And Owen was just super comfortable, answered the questions beautifully, I thought. So Jerry and Rebecca, nice job. Good parenting. Owen's an awesome kid. Second, you can add me to the list of the Russ Bauer fan club. I mean, I think Russ is just an awesome guy, and I love his down-to-earth approach. He's very authentic. Just as a person, he's very low key, and he is who he is. And my sense is that's how he coaches. I asked a probably dumb question about contrasting his style with Jonas and Doug Donnellan, and I thought he handled it great. He basically said, I'm not going to talk about their styles. I'm going to talk about my style and what I picked up from them. And I thought that was great. And I was thinking after the interview, like I kind of learned from Russ in that interaction. So he's always coaching. He's even coaching his interviewers. So I thought that was great. And then finally, I just want to make a quick comment to our listeners. If you go to a Drake game, an Archie Williams game this year, and you see Russ on the sidelines, I just want you to know that guy can play. Russ is a really good basketball player. We play weekly in a game, and he's really fun to play with. He's a great passer. He can shoot the mid-range shot. He's active. He talks. He plays like a coach should play.
Plays like a coach. Yeah, plays like a coach. I absolutely agree. And when he'll get in and mix it up sometimes with the players if we're down a man in practice. And the level of communication and the level of intensity in the gym goes up immediately. So yeah, Russ is pretty laid back when you talk with him, but when he gets into it as a coach, you definitely see the intensity, and you see it on the floor as well. He's just he battles, and Dave, he described the team as small yet gritty, or small but gritty, and I would definitely agree with that. And I think the word grit, it is one of the 6 non-negotiables that Russ has for our team, and grit is a good word to describe both Owen and Russ. Owen as a player, and this I think in part comes from battling against the old men out at Sleepy Hollow, and just taking a lot of punishment from people that were bigger and stronger. And now Owen is big and strong. I mean, he's a guard, but he's a very strong guard, and he just is gritty. He's always working hard and looking for his spots on the floor. Smart player, and just determined player. So, and then Russ as a coach, I mean, he's just building a gritty program, and he's taking these quote unquote puppies and he's turning them into men. And his long-term vision for this is really spot on, and it's been a pleasure to work with him.
So you, Duff, in the off season, you had organized a few open gyms, and you brought a few of us old guys down to play with the Archie team. And one of our good friends, a great basketball player, a great guy named Eric Albin. He's 6'8", 250, played football at Columbia. He's a really good basketball player. And we were playing, and he and Owen got into there was a loose ball, and they were both on the floor and kind of wrestling. And Owen's, substantially shorter than 6'8" and substantially lighter than 250.
Yeah.
But he was not afraid of Eric, and they both popped up, kind of fired up, and it was kind of a good spirited competition. It wasn't like they were mad at each other. They were just sort of like, let's go. And that was eye opening to me. It was awesome. And so I totally agree with you. I can see the grit, and that starts from the top. It starts with Russ, but the players are all bought in. So I'm going to have a great time watching your team play this year.
Yeah, Owen, we do a lot of competitions in practice, as many teams do, and we're trying to keep score as much as we can, even in sort of peripheral drills. Owen does not like to lose, and he is keeping track of the score every single competition. And man, he's going to show it if he loses. So love that in a leader for the team, and love that in a teammate. So, and kudos to Owen, the first actual active player, high school player, to be on the podcast, and we do hope to have more on. And he just knocked out of the park. So
yep, that was awesome. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Yep.
So let's move on to player control, Duff.
Yep. Dave, what do you got?
I have a few. So in our Daryl Rory interview, which, by the way, we've been receiving great feedback on. Daryl killed it. He was amazing. There are 2 things that I wanted to correct or point out. One, he was struggling to remember the name of a guard at San Marin in the MCAL in the late 80s who he played against. And a listener gave us a heads up that it was Scott Kerr was the San Marin guard from the late 80s. So sorry, Scott Kerr, we didn't know your name, but you apparently were very tough for Daryl to deal with on the court. So kudos to you. And the second one is we were talking about coaches in the league, and Daryl just couldn't remember the name of the Santa Fe head coach, and I was slow to the draw. So that's Brett Mitchell, who is a really good coach. He's coached in the MCAL for years. He was actually at Drake for a couple of years. He played college ball. I think he played at Westmont. So anyway, Brett has been at SR for a while and is a really good coach. And so sorry, Brett, that we didn't have your name at the ready. And also I want to acknowledge Brett's assistant, Steve Tornello, who was a listener and fan of the podcast. He has agreed to be our Santa Fe High boys team correspondent. So he told us he promised us an update, a season preview once the football players are kind of integrated into the practices, which should be very soon now. So those are my player control items. Duff, what do you got?
Excellent. Yeah, Brett Mitchell, his name is up in the team room at Archie Williams. And they have the coaching tree is on the wall there, which is cool. Player control segment for me. Well, in the interview with Russ and Owen, I did make a comment that was in jest, Dave, about strangling an official. And I want you to know that I would never do that. And I wouldn't encourage anyone to do that, not even Draymond Green. Please don't do that. Your load management style is already leading to a lot of rest. So Anyway, yeah. So not only because as an assistant coach I'm not allowed to get up, but I would not strangle an official or really anyone for that matter, Dave. So that's my player control segment, and I apologize to anyone who might have been offended by that remark.
I think we knew you were kidding, Duff, but thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah. All right, Dave. What time is it now?
I think it's 10:30.
10:28. Sponsor time. We gotta acknowledge our sponsors on the way out.
I nailed that one, Duff. Yeah, let's talk about our sponsors. Thank you to our sponsors. We actually have, I think we mentioned in the intro, we have some new sponsors as well. But Karen Horsemeyer, NBBA, The Hub, Nike Camps at San Domenico,
The
Skaggers, and a few more that are coming
Brewing.
down the pipe.
Percolating. More about them soon. Well, yes, and we haven't thanked Stroke 9 recently for intro outro. Katie Levine for the logo. Angela Ballard doing great work with the website. She's maybe always a day or two a little bit behind, but she's keeping up and she's doing it in a cheerful manner. So thank you, Angela. And Holden Ballard for helping with timestamps. Good work, Holden.
It takes a village, Duff.
It does. And t-shirts are arriving soon for those who put in orders. I believe I should receive them within the next couple days, and we'll be getting those out. And I think that's pretty much the housekeeping.
Awesome. Thank you so much, listeners. We got more great episodes coming up, so keep listening.
Keep listening. This has been the Run TMC podcast, a podcast about basketball in the Marin County. Thank you for listening.
See ya.
Mm-hmm.
This guy walks into a little saloon and sits down. He draws the eyes of all the locals of this small town. He looks damn normal to me. Bandana on his head, Birks on his feet. He looks up and gives me a grin and says,
Hey, dude, you too must be from Marin.
Marin County's A-OK, from Tamistinson all the way to MA. Fresh organic